Hello everyone and welcome back to my garage on Car Mechanic Simulator. If you remember correctly, we had a brake job here, this green car, and then the other car over here by the garage door, I believe was just changing out the filters. Yes, fuel filter, oil filter, air filter. So let's go over here and let's get this brake job first. Let me see what I need. Brake pads and brake disc is all I need. So this one should be fairly quick. I don't have anything in my inventory right now. So I need to come over here and buy those parts. Alright, we needed a brake pads and we needed a brake disc. Okay. Might as well go ahead and buy the air filter and the fuel filter while we're at it. And we'll go ahead and buy the oil filter 14 too while we're at it. So now we have everything for both jobs. So let's raise this car up and we'll try to figure out which set of pads is bad and which brake disc is bad. So we'll get this guy raised up in the air. Alright, that disc looks fine. That disc looks fine. That's the bad disc right there. So we'll take this wheel off and we'll check these pads too while we're at it. Hopefully the pads are bad here and the brake disc is bad here. And that'll be job done. It'll be easy, but the pads don't look bad at all, but we'll see. Otherwise, we're going to have to try to take off every wheel until we find it. Alright, let's check the pads. No, they're fine. Alright, so we'll put the caliper back on and put the wheel back on. And then we'll begin our hunt to try to find the other bad brake pads. See, in real life, you can tell which brake pads are bad just by looking at them. You don't even have to take the wheel off usually. You can kind of see right through the wheel. You can see the pads. And it's a very easy process to find out which ones are bad, but in the game, you really can't tell until you actually take them off. Those look a lot worse for wear, but I don't know if they're actually red or not. Yep, they were. Alright, so that is job done. Just got to get it all put back together now. Put the wheel back on. And we'll get this car out of our garage. Go ahead and lower it back down. Don't really have to lower it back down, but I like to. Sometimes I won't, but usually I do. Alright, that should be job done. Made $164. We spent $110, so we made like 54 bucks on that. And now we got to get this job done. We'll go ahead and move this over to the lift. Alright, we need to replace the air filter and the fuel filter and the oil filter. Where's the other clip at? There they are. They kind of blended in. I couldn't see them. Take the cover off. Gotta get this other clip first. There we go. Now we can take the filter out. And we can put the new one in. Put the cover back on. Finding these clips is sometimes a nightmare. Because they're so small, and to get the little cursor thing on them properly is not an easy task. Come on, baby. There we go. This time it wasn't all that bad, though. But I've had times before trying to do that where it was literally a nightmare. All right, now we got to get the fuel filter. There it is. God, that thing looks terrible. Good thing we're changing that. Put the new fuel filter on. And then we're going to need to raise this thing up in the air because we're going to have to drain the oil out of it and take the oil filter off and put a new oil filter on and then put more oil into it. All right, so I got to move this piece of equipment over in front of the car so that I can drain the oil. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, there we go, and we'll move this back out of the way. So now that with the oil out of it, I can pull the filter off. Hopefully it'll let me do it from underneath. I don't see why it wouldn't. In real life, you would do it from underneath. You're not going to do it from inside the engine bay. There it is. Go ahead and pull that off and put the new one on. All right, there we go. So now I got to lower the car back down. All right, now we got to put oil in this thing, because otherwise it'll lock up when we try to get it out of here. So let's just pour out of our never-ending bottle of oil. There we go, that should do it. A little bit more just to be on the safe side. And that is job done. Very good. So we made like $32 off that job. It's not a bad price really for what all we did. They got a good deal there. All right, we got a mission car here. We've got timing, steering. That's going to be a bunch of suspension work. We'll go ahead and get this one. Suspension work usually pays pretty well, and it's not super complicated to do. Well, that's only one thing. That's going to be fairly simple to get that job done. What else we got? Brake problems. We'll do that too. You know me, I love the brake jobs. They're really easy and they give good experience. And you make a little bit of money off of them. It's all good. Caliper and pads, that's it. Easy cheesy. It's a nice little John Deere looking car there. It's got a John Deere colors almost. So this is sway bar rear end link. And what did I need for this again? Caliper and pads. Alright, let's go in here and let's buy our stuff. We'll do the brakes first. Caliper and pads. Got that. Oops, I accidentally went out of the computer. Alright, suspension. We needed the sway bar. Well, that's not what it was. Let me go make sure before I buy this. Oh, it's the rear end link. That's right. Okay. Sway bar rear end link. So it's that little ratchet looking thing. Right down here. This guy is what we need. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get this job done, and then we will do this brake job afterwards. Both should be fairly quick. And the name of the game right now is we're just trying to get as much experience as possible, because we're trying to unlock the other lift, and we're trying to unlock the paint shop and all of that stuff so that we can really start to do some interesting things. Now we want to make some money along the way as well, because we're going to be... That right there is the bad one. I can already tell that. We're going to be buying cars and restoring them and all kinds of cool stuff in this series. But first I have to get the ability to do all the stuff that I need to do. Alright, so that should be job done. Just got to put the wheel back on. So we are going to need a good amount of money. But we make money off each one of these jobs. So we just keep saving. And by the time we get all the different stuff unlocked to be able to properly take a car apart and restore it, we should have a pretty good amount of money built up. Alright, that is job done. We made 52 bucks off that. We spent 26. So we made 20 some dollars. Alright, let's get this one done. Let's move this over to the lift. This was just a caliper and pads. So what the game plan is we'll try to find the caliper that's bad, and hopefully the pads will be there with it. That one isn't bad. That one's bad, I think. So let's take this off and check it, and we'll check the pads while we're at it and see if these pads are the ones that are bad. These pads look like crap. So if they're not bad, they should be. Nope, they were still good. They just look horrible, though. We'll put the new caliper on here. Now we got to try to figure out which set of pads are the bad ones on the car so we can replace them. And then that'll be job done. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go around the car, taking off the caliper and pads of each one until we find the right one. Now we can't do any kind of testing on the car or anything like that right at this point. Although I don't think that would help anyway in this situation, but there we go, we found it. Put the new pads on, new caliper back, or the old caliper back on, but it's still good. Put the wheel back on, and this is job done here. And we will get this car out of our garage, and we will move on. So that's 4 jobs already this episode that we've done fairly quickly. We've gotten some pretty good experience for them. Oops. I hate it when I do that. When you bring it down to this level, you have to hold the A button in to lower it the rest of the way down. But if you don't hold it in, if you tap it by accident instead, it raises it back up. So we made 171 bucks off this, and we spent 115. So not bad. We made a decent amount of money there, and I think we have enough, yes we do, to do something. Let's see what we can get. Anything good? Faster walking, don't care. We already did that one. I think we're going to do the tablet. I think would be the play here. Yeah, let's do the tablet. That'll help us so now we don't have to go over to the computer to keep ordering. Now we can order right from where we're standing. All right, we got another brake job here. Go ahead and take that job on. So that's going to be a caliper, the ABS pump, and another caliper. So we got 2 calipers and an ABS pump for this car that we need. What else do we have? Filters need replacing. That's another easy one. We'll take it. Air filter, oil filter, fuel filter. And it's another oil filter 14. Air filter 14B. Oh, I forgot I don't have to walk all the way over here anymore. I bought the damn laptop, or the tablet rather. Alright, air filter 14B. We need a fuel filter, and we need the oil filter 14. There's a fuel filter. And we need the oil filter 14. There we go. I think we got everything we needed. Alright, so this job is brake caliper, ABS pump, and another brake caliper. So we got to take the module off first to get to the pump. Then we'll replace this guy. With the new one we bought. And we'll put the module back on. And now it's just a matter of finding the two calipers that are bad and replacing them. And this will be job done. This one is rather simple. Not a whole lot to it. See, that caliper's fine. That caliper's fine. Which means the two on this side are the bad ones. So we'll take each one of these off and replace them. With a brand spanking new caliper. Very nice. Love it when you make it shiny and new. That's like the best. Because you know that caliper is not going to give them any trouble anymore. At least not for a long time. Alright, this is the last one we need to take off. And we'll get that replaced. And that will be job done. Just got to get the wheel back on and we can get this guy out of our garage. Another quick and easy job. Gotta love it. Now, once we start restoring the cars, we will really get into some in-depth stuff. Because we'll be completely tearing the car apart 100%. Every part will get replaced or fixed, and it will be brand spanking new when we get it back. And the cool thing is, we're going to be picking them up from, most of the time, the junkyard. So they're only going to be partial cars when we get them. They're going to be all rusted out and terrible. And we're going to have to do the body work. We're going to have to do the interior work. We're going to have to do the engine. We're going to have to do everything on these cars. So that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I really enjoy the aspect of fixing up the cars. But you got to build up to it. Alright, so that's the air filter done. We'll put the new cover back on. I like this one better because it has screws instead of the little clips. Put the new fuel filter on. So now it's just a matter of doing the oil change. So we'll lift them up in the air. There we go. Now I'll show you. There's the filter. So you can pull it off without draining it if you want to. Because I just did it there. And you can just put the new filter right on without draining all the old, and the job is done. You don't even have to put oil back in it. In real life, if you did that without draining it first, oil would get all over your floor. Because as soon as you pull that oil filter off, all that oil is going to come pouring out of that engine. And it's going to be nasty. But on the game, we don't have that problem apparently, so I saved the step. All right, we got to sell off some of this stuff because I got a bunch of bad parts here from these jobs. So we're going to get those sold off. We're going to open our cases. We're going to add our barn locations to the map. Kind of do the maintenance work here that needs to be done to keep the inventory looking decent. Let's see, what do we get on this one? Got an engine head. Looks like a serpentine belt. Go ahead and finish selling this stuff off. I didn't see what the last thing was. Looks like a pulley. Is that a crankshaft pulley? I think so. Alright, that looks like an air filter cover. Carburetor and an exhaust pipe of some sort. See, in this one I got a shock absorber. I can already see that, a barn location, and looks like an exhaust manifold. Yep. Okay, so we're going to add these to the map. Most of this stuff I'm going to go ahead and sell to get the money for it, because a lot of it is specialty items for different vehicles, and unless we actually are working on that vehicle, we're not going to need that part. Some of it, like this piece here, I could keep if I really wanted to, but might as well sell it. I'll buy it again if I need it. Some of the stuff, like if I got a caliper, for example, or something, I'd keep it because I use so many of those. But I'm going to keep the double wishbone shock absorber, I think, because I actually use a lot of those when I'm doing suspension jobs. Alright, so we got another upgrade here. We are definitely going with this one. Odds of successful repair raised to 65%. We could also do faster screwing, which would be nice. Some more testing as well. But I think we're going to go with this up here, the repair, because that's way more important than any of the other. The faster screwing is very important too, because that gets annoying sometimes when it goes so slow. Alright, let's see what new jobs we got. Another brake job, we'll take it. Bring that on in. And we'll get that moved over to the lift again. And we'll see what else we can grab. Let's see, this is pads, caliper, disc, caliper, caliper. So 3 of the calipers are bad. 1 of the brake pads is bad, and 1 of the brake discs are bad. So that's going to be a little bit more of an intensive job than we normally do with the brakes, but that's okay. Won't be that big of a deal. Alright, so let's go over here to brakes. We needed 3 of the calipers, 1 brake disc, and 1 set of pads. Alright, so that is done. What else can we do? Running gear, another brake job. We'll take that one then. And we'll do these on the next episode. I'm not going to do them now. But we're just going to go ahead and get them in the shop and get what we need, so we're ready to go. See, this is the brake disc, ABS module, brake caliper, brake calipers. We need 2 calipers, a disc, and an ABS module. So 2 calipers, the ABS module, and the brake disc. Isn't it nice to be able to do this from a tablet and not have to run over to the computer every time? I love that. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the next one. Until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.